What is happening, YouTube and all you Dolphins fans out there? It is a great time to be a Dolphins fan, with the Dolphins killing these first 2 days of the free agency period. In this video, I'm going to be going over all the signings, just give my opinion on the contracts and how I think they'll fit on the team in the long run. So, to start free agency, on day one, the Dolphins made a huge signing and they signed Byron Jones, cornerback and safety, formerly of the Cowboys. The team signed him to a 5-year, $82 million contract with $54 million guaranteed. Just a historic contract. The richest contract ever handed out to a corner. I mean, we said that last year about Xavier after we gave him like a 5-year. I think it was $70 million. But Byron Jones, 5 years, $82 million, just blows that out the water. And it just really shows the crazy commitment that the Dolphins were willing to make to this ultra-talented secondary player. Because who knows where he's going to play for the Dolphins. I mean, he's played safety 3 seasons with the Cowboys, 2 seasons at corner. He's just a super talented player and an athlete that I think can excel anywhere on the field. In this defensive scheme that Coach Flo has brought over from the Patriots, you can really just play him anywhere. You can leave him at outside corner. I'm sure he could play in the slot as a corner. He could probably be a box safety, free safety. He's just a super talent that really just fits in perfectly to the defense. Paired with Xavier and Howard, those two guys really have an opportunity here to dominate on the outside and, just give a chance for the defensive line to get to the quarterback and just get that pressure on the quarterback, because that's exactly what you need from a defense. You need the pass rush to, complement the secondary with a pass rush, and the secondary to complement the guys up front with airtight pressure, so, they have time to get to the quarterback. So this is a win-win. The other guys I'm going to go over here, defensive linemen, are the kind of guys that are going to benefit from a Byron Jones signing. And this first splash signing that the Dolphins made in free agency is just going to help to improve the defense. Byron Jones is just an amazing secondary player, amazing cover corner or safety, wherever you want to play him. But it's just a first step to improving the defense and just bringing an elite, dominant defense that I know Brian Flores can build. So, after the Byron Jones signing, the Dolphins weren't done there. They signed another couple of great players, but we're going to start here with Kyle Van Noy, formerly of the Patriots. We signed him to a 4-year, $51 million contract with $30 million guaranteed, so it's a fair offer. It's a little more than I would have given to Kyle Van Noy. You'd rather give something like a 4-year, $40 million contract, but his fit on this defense is well worth the freight of giving him $51 million and $30 million guaranteed. In this Dolphins defensive scheme, Kyle Van Noy is going to fit in perfectly to the front seven. He's a linebacker that can bring pass rush off the edge. He had 58 pressures last season with the Patriots in 2019. That is great numbers. He's a guy that can drop back into coverage. He can play inside linebacker, outside linebacker. You could use him anywhere on that front seven, besides probably nose tackle, but I'm sure that he's probably even going to get snaps as a nose tackle. You never know how Coach Flores of the defense is going to deploy these players, but he's a guy that can rush from either side and play any other linebacker position that you need him to. So just that fit and that versatility is just absolutely perfect for this defense and scheme. And I'm sure that Coach Flo is absolutely stoked to bring him down to Miami and deploy him on this Dolphins defense that uses multiple schemes and fronts. So Van Noy, he couldn't have been a better signing for this defense and scheme, and I'm sure the $30 million guaranteed didn't hurt either to help him come down to Miami, because there was absolutely no way the Patriots were giving him that contract. I think they paid him like a total of $7-8 million the last 2 years, and he's been a terrific player for them. He's perfect in their scheme and our scheme, and he's just an impactful player that can do a lot of things, but New England just never wanted to pay him his worth, and now he's with us, and he's going to have a great impact, hopefully. And Coach Flores is going to know exactly how to use him. And, hopefully he's a terrific linebacker for us for many years to come. Hopefully for 4 years. So the next guy the Dolphins signed was Shaq Lawson, formerly of the Buffalo Bills. Lawson agreed with the team on a 3-year, $30 million contract with $20 million guaranteed. Shaq Lawson is another guy who's going to be a perfect fit into this defense. Shaq Lawson is a big, stout defensive end. He's 6'3", nearly 270 pounds. I think he's like 267 or something like that, 268. But he plays the run incredibly well. It's what he does best out there on the football field. Don't get me wrong, he can rush the quarterback. He can bring some pressure off the edge, but he's going to do what the Dolphins love most from their defensive ends, and that's playing the run. Lawson is also a guy that will just have no trouble fitting into this multiple front defense that the team runs. He's more than capable of being a traditional defensive end or playing as a 3-4 outside linebacker. His fourth year in the NFL with the Bills, he finally showed that ability that the Bills hoped they were getting when they took him in the first round of the 2016 draft. He was dominant against the run. And despite not starting a single game for the Bills in 2019, he had 6.5 sacks, and I think that's what's to be expected with Shaq Lawson's career with the Dolphins. He's going to be a 6 to 8 sack kind of guy, and a stout, physical, heavy-handed defensive end against the run, which is exactly what this defense needs. We struggled against the run last year, and that's Lawson's specialty. So hopefully he can continue to improve as a player. He's only 25, so I'm sure he's going to get better. I'm sure he's going to get stronger. Hopefully the Dolphins can coach him up and he can develop into an even better defensive end. But Shaq Lawson, 3 years, 30 mil, it's a fair deal. And I can't wait to see how he'll perform in this Dolphins defense. The next signing the Dolphins went ahead and made was Ereck Flowers. He played offensive guard this past year with the Redskins. 3 years, 30 million, same as Shaq Lawson, but the guarantee was a little less, 19.9 million guaranteed, compared to 21 mil guaranteed for Shaq Lawson. He struggled mightily in his career with the New York Giants. He played offensive tackle with the Giants. He was drafted top 10 and just never really lived up to these expectations. He started out as a left tackle with the Giants and was a hot mess on the left side, so they moved him to right tackle, hoping that he'd be a much better player, but those hopes and dreams obviously never came to fruition because the Giants moved on from him. So at left guard for the Washington Redskins, Ereck Flowers was a pretty solid guard. He held up incredibly well in pass protection and was moving guys out the way in the run game. He was opening up alleys for Redskins running backs consistently. He is a huge guy, 6'6", 330 pounds, 34 plus inch arms and 10 inch hands. He is a huge mammoth offensive lineman that is going to bring some power to this offensive line. Being 25 years old, he's still a young player like Shaq Lawson, and hopefully he's got more room for improvement. Hopefully he can continue to improve on his technique, become a stronger player if that's possible. And who really knows, he might have the potential to develop into a Pro Bowl guard, but one thing for certain is that we found a new starter on the offensive line, and that's all you can hope for when drafting or signing a guy in free agency. He's a young ascending guard that's going to help to fix one of the worst defensive lines in the league. He should secure a starting spot, and his career 92% pass block rate should help a Dolphins unit that finished last in that category last season. We were the worst pass blocking unit in the NFL. If Miami gets the 2019 version of Flowers or better, then he'll immediately be our best defensive lineman, and he'll add stability to the trenches. We are hoping to add more offensive linemen in free agency in the draft, but Ereck Flowers is a start, and you can only hope he's going to bring his best play to Miami. The next guy the Dolphins signed on day 2 was Emmanuel Ogbah. 2 years, 15 million, 7.5 million guaranteed. Ogbah, similar to Shaq Lawson, is a big physical defensive end, 6'3", 275 pounds. When he was healthy with the Kansas City Chiefs, he led the team with 5.5 sacks, so he brings it off the edge, and he's just a guy that plays with power. I'm not really sure how he holds up in the run game. I've got to watch more of his tape, but I know that he's a pure pass rusher that can win off the edge with quickness and power, because he's a huge dude, 275 pounds, so obviously he's got to have some pop in those hands. He's a former second-round pick out of Oklahoma, so obviously he's got talent, but hopefully he can stay healthy. He has had some season-ending injuries the last 2 years, so hopefully he can stay healthy, but a guy like with his talent can only help off the edge. He can only help a front seven that has added Shaq Lawson and Kyle Van Noy. I think that trio is definitely going to bring some juice off the edge. So the next guy the Dolphins signed, I believe was on day 1, was safety Clayton Geathers. 3 years, 8.5 million, 3 million guaranteed. The last couple of seasons, he's been a special teams ace and team captain for the Cincinnati Bengals. Who knows, maybe he can bring some depth as a safety, but I'm sure his main value will come on special teams, where he's probably going to be a gunner and take over for Walt Aikens there on the special teams as maybe a potential captain, because he was a captain with the Bengals. So hopefully he can bring over that kind of leadership to the Dolphins. Another potential special teams player the Dolphins picked up was Camu Gruger Hill. I'm pretty sure you pronounce it. Linebacker, formerly of the Eagles. 1 year, $3 million, $2 million guaranteed. I believe he played for the Patriots as well, so that's probably the connection there. Like Clayton Geathers, he was primarily used as a special teams player and team captain for the Eagles the last couple seasons. He did get some snaps at linebacker. I think he had like 21 tackles or something like that, so he can bring some depth on defense at linebacker, but his main value is going to be on special teams, where, like Fedulum, he was a captain, so he's probably going to be a leader on special teams, and he'll bring some juice to special teams. So the last signing the Dolphins have made here on day 2, the most recent signing was Jordan Howard, running back, 2 years, $10 million. I couldn't find the details on the guarantees, but I'm sure the guaranteed dollars will be somewhere around $6 million or $5 million. Jordan Howard, his first year with the Bears, he was a dominant running back. He had 1,300 yards, nearly 300 yards receiving, but he was dominant. As a rookie, I really didn't expect him to be that good a running back coming out of Indiana. His second year with the Bears was nearly as impressive. He rushed for 1,100 yards and was a solid running back in his second year. His third year with Matt Nagy taking over, I'm sure that Nagy wasn't a fan of him, and they went ahead and traded him to the Eagles. Before getting injured, he was solid for the Eagles. He averaged like 4.4 yards a carry, I'm pretty sure, but he showed that power as a running back. That's what he is. He's a power running back. He's going to bring physicality and toughness to this offense. He's a 230-pound back, so he really knows how to run guys over. But it's a fair deal. 2 years, $10 million. He'll come in and probably share carries with a stud rookie running back that we're hopefully going to be drafting early in the draft, preferably in the second or third round. But Jordan Howard will definitely be splitting carries with someone in the backfield, but hopefully whoever we draft will be a great complement to Jordan Howard's power running style, and there'll be great pieces for the offense to help to move the ball. So after 2 days of free agency, the Dolphins have made great strides in improving the team. We got an all-world corner in Byron Jones, a great versatile piece in Kyle Van Noy to deploy in the front seven. Shaq Lawson is going to bring great run-stuffing ability and pass rush to the edge. Ereck Flowers is a gigantic offensive guard that's going to help to stabilize one of the offensive guard spots. Hopefully he will establish himself as a starter on this offensive line. Emmanuel Ogbah, big, powerful defensive end that's going to bring some juice off the edge. 275 pounds. I can't wait to see what he can do. Clayton Geathers, he's a safety that's going to bring special teams value. He'll be a team captain for the team and on special teams, and I'm sure he should be an ace on special teams. Camu Gruger Hill, similar to Fedulum, he's going to be great on special teams, and who knows, he might bring some linebacker depth. Jordan Howard, he's a power back that's had 2,000-yard seasons in the league, and hopefully if he stays healthy, he could be a lead back that's going to tote the rock and bring those hard yards. But all in all, what these signings bring is flexibility in the draft. Now, we're not going to have to take a talented corner early in the draft with the Byron Jones signing. Kyle Van Noy, he's going to play everywhere in this defense, but he's going to be a linebacker and an edge, so that's two other positions that we filled. Shaq Lawson, another edge that we're not going to have to go after in the draft. Emmanuel Ogbah is going to help there at the edge position. He's another talented defensive end that should help out with some depth. And last but not least, Jordan Howard. He's another guy that's going to help out with the running back depth. Even though we still got to take a guy early in the draft, he only helps to fill the burden of our absolute lack of talent in that running back room with guys like Patrick Laird and Myles Gaskin. Jordan Howard is a talented guy and somewhat of an established veteran that is going to bring the juice and power as a running back. So that's it for the first 2 days of free agency. Let me know what you think about my analysis on these guys. And be sure to let me know what you think about the contracts that the guys have signed with the Dolphins. These signings are only going to help out the team in the long run. It's going to help out with the draft. It's going to improve the team. So it's been a very positive first 2 days of free agency. So yeah, make sure to like and subscribe if you've been enjoying the videos. And as always, it's fins up, baby. Can't wait to see what day 3 brings, because I'm sure the team isn't finished. We still got some more offensive linemen that I'm sure we're going to sign. Who knows? We might bring in... Who knows who we're going to sign? But yeah, make sure to keep an eye out. Cheers, folks.